Hi, it's Andy again with another Friday Fuel to encourage you through the weekend and hopefully to make you desire to respond in worship on Sunday. This week here at Fairfax Baptist Church, we're going to be looking at the letter of Jude, a letter that he had intended to write, and yet, well, he changed course as he picked up his pen, so to speak. It is another short letter at the end of the New Testament, and much like the last couple of letters that we've looked at, it's meant to encourage people to stay away from the false teachings. And the false teachings specifically that Jude is dealing with is to avoid the sensualities of the day, the teachings for people to follow grace beyond what grace is meant to do. Now, it's ultimately, really, if we understand grace, and I don't think any of us truly can, it's hard to go beyond what grace is because grace doesn't have any contingencies upon it. And yet, the people, as Jude writes in verse 4, we see it elsewhere. Paul writes in Romans 6 about people desiring to go on sinning so that grace can abound all the more. Well, ultimately, that's a false view of grace. While grace extends beyond what any of us can ever imagine, and oftentimes it can be offensive, even to those of us who have received that grace. We think that grace should have its limits. Well, grace does have its limits, but not because of grace, but because of our response to grace. If we truly understand the grace that has come to us, then, well, we don't want to take advantage of grace. We want to, out of our thankfulness and in our response to the grace that we've received, we want to live lives that would be pleasing and honoring to the one who gives that grace to us, in this case, God. So this week we're going to look at the challenge that sensualities, the sensuality of the day, of Jude's day and our day, creates for each of us, but how grace, and an example from the life of Jesus, shows how grace extended can make a tremendous impact in the lives of others. I hope you'll join us Sunday. We'll see you then.